Hi everybody, it's Diane Brennan. Welcome to my channel. I'm going to share a very personal situation with you to make my point today, and I want to first mention that never when I share these things am I looking for pity or sympathy or anything like that. I'm doing it because it's the best way I know to make my point. And so it's making for great material for videos in my channel, okay? Um, so if you watched my unpacking of a daily draw video that was up here last, you might know a little bit about what I'm about to talk about as far as the situation. So what I want to talk about today, to get kind of into the meat of the video here, is how important it is to have a spiritual grounding base, a routine and practice that helps to keep you grounded no matter what life throws at you. Because if I didn't have that, I would not be surviving as well through what I am going through right now. Okay? I'd be drowning. But life has made me tempered steel. I've compared myself quite frequently to a samurai sword. I understand why in the tarot the Queen of Swords comes up for me quite a bit. She's not always cold-hearted. She can often just be somebody who is extremely strong because life has tempered her into steel. And she knows how to make decisions and make them well and weather the storms of life. So, and still have a lot of love and compassion, but take care of yourself. Like having my self-care routine, having my spiritual practice, and my very strong spiritual beliefs, as well as having some really good friends around me for support, even if they're not in person. It's been a lot of texting, phone calls, you know, because they're like over an hour away and it's really hard for us to get to see each other too often. Actually, two of my closest friends are like almost 2 hours away. So, I mean, if you've been following me, you know that last month I just lost my mother. And now, exactly like 1 month later, I've lost my baby sister. And I'm grateful that my mother wasn't the one that had to make the decisions that I had to make. But my sister's younger than me by 10 years. And, you know, to have that, and this situation's a real mess. And I found out things that I didn't know before that really broke my heart. Because it makes me think, wow, if I had only known, things might have been very different between us. But, and maybe in some way I could have made a positive impact and helped her. But it is what it is, and it was what it was, and you can't change it. You can't go back and change the past. You can only move forward from the present. But I'm keeping my equilibrium because, I mean, I have a very strong morning routine. I used to call it my hour of power. Now it's kind of my hours of power, because when I get up in the morning, the first thing I do is I lay in bed and I do self-healing with Reiki and other energy healing modalities. So I run energy healing first before I even get out of bed, and I run gratitudes. And then I do my morning, you know, showering, all of that, get dressed, blah, blah. Then I come out here and I do yoga. Then I come into my office and I do my meditations and then my daily card draw and journaling that real quick, you know, like what's my interpretation of that? And then finally, the world is allowed in. I actually have the do not disturb set on my phone to set that boundary. The world cannot disturb me before a certain hour of the day and after a certain hour of the day. There's actually, like, for 12 hours of the day, nobody's getting through, with very few exceptions. My children are accepted, they are exceptions. They can get through the do not disturb, because if there's a life or death emergency, I want to know. But nobody else. So very clear setting of boundaries, very solid practice that I am fully grounded in. I mean, that's one of the things, since Mom is gone, I could do my full meditation. I couldn't do it before because I would have, the chanting I do would have made too much noise for her while she was lying in bed. Yeah. So that is one of the things I've been able to do now, is really go into my full morning routine that I used to do. Oh goodness, it feels like it was a lifetime ago. It's been years since I've been able to do that full routine again, and that I've had a space to really do it in, and the ability to, to roll that way. So for me, that's kind of one of the things that is grounding me through all of this, is that I was able to return to that and to really ground and center myself before I start my day, and have to do all of the things one has to do in a day, and especially now with the extra things I have to do in a day. Decisions I have to make, phone calls I have to make, things I have to deal with. Because my sister didn't exactly leave me an easy situation. She pretty much dumped a real mess in my lap. And I'm not going to go into all the details, but just know this is the messiest rodeo I've dealt with the passing of somebody. It's going to be the absolute worst situation I've dealt with for settling somebody's affairs. Hopefully it's the last time I have to do it. She wasn't married and she didn't have any children, so with my parents gone, it falls on me now as the oldest. But just whatever it is for you, set your boundaries. Use features like your do not disturb, so that people who are just going to throw you off can't, during times when you need that time, whether it's in the evening, maybe that's when you get to do it. You don't get to do the roll in the morning like I do. Maybe you have to do yours at night after work and after the kids have gone to bed and all of that. Use your do not disturb. Don't let people call and interrupt that. Make that time for you, whether it's going in a bath, doing meditation, exercising, stretching, yoga, whatever. Time for you to go and have quiet time and read a book somewhere that you can eke out for some peace and quiet. Whatever that is, it's very important, because when, as they say in this country anyway, when the shit hits the fan, okay, that is what's going to help you get through that without losing your ever-loving mind and going into absolute stress ball. And I am going to say, when I first got the call about my sister, that did stress me. It did. I did hit a little stress ball wall, and I'm going to give full transparency. I did go out and I can't have regular ice cream because I can't have dairy. I'm dairy intolerant ever since losing my gallbladder 20 some years ago. So I got myself a pint of So Delicious, and I got myself a couple of things of chocolate, and I had a little 2-day while I was going through the worst of it, bit of stress relief with sugar. And then I got right back on the carnivore wagon. My philosophy on that is, you know what, if you're doing 95 to 98% of a clean diet, that little moment is not going to kill you. As long as you can pull yourself out of it. And I now have the strength because I've been doing that long enough, and because I have this practice under me, that I was able to pull myself right back out of that and get right back on track with carnivore as well, and get past the cravings, because I know what they are. I know they're mental and emotional, and I'm okay with the fact that I gave into them with the worst of the stress, and that as that was easing and I was relaxing because I was adjusting to it on top of everything else and to the situation, then I was able to get back on track with eating the way that I feel is the healthiest and most appropriate for me, and that I'm doing for my health. So, like, if you go through a stressful period and you fall back into a bad habit, don't kick yourself for that. Don't berate yourself, and don't let it be the gate to be like, well, you know what? I did this, and so now I just blew the whole thing, and oh, what the heck? I may as well, nope. Get right back on the horse and start riding again. Okay? So, like I said, I just wanted to address that, how important that is. That's self-care on a daily basis as a foundation for helping you roll with the flow of life and deal with whatever happens, because life does happen to us all. Things happen. We're all going to hit something at some point. Nobody's life is perfectly smooth sailing the entire way. I guarantee you, not even a Buddhist monk's life. At some point, we all hit a point where life's just throwing stuff at us, and we've got to be able to keep our heads above the water so we don't drown. And that's what finding those things for you is going to help you do. And it's better if you can do it when you're not going through something, so that you have it when you're going through it. Anyway, I hope that you have enjoyed this video. Like I said, I don't want a whole bunch. I didn't do it for pity. I didn't do it for sympathy. Just to make this point of how important having that practice under you already in place is to help you get through these moments. So much love, much light, many, many blessings. I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Peace out.